Okay, in this lesson we're going to continue to work with whole numbers, but we're going to talk about ordering whole numbers. In other words, we're going to look at a couple of whole numbers and talk about which one is greater, which one is smaller, and then use what's called an inequality symbol to designate that. The two inequality symbols we're going to look at in this lesson are the less than symbol, which points to the left, and the greater than symbol, which points to the right. You always read these symbols left to right. Now, let me give you an example of when you would use which one. If you have the numbers 2 and 5, because you're reading left to right, 2 is less in value than 5, then you use the less than symbol. If you had 6 and 4, because 6 has got a greater value than 4, you would use the greater than symbol. Sometimes people get confused, how am I going to remember which one is which? Well, there are lots of silly ways, but maybe these will work even though they're silly. If you think of the symbol as the mouth, say it's the mouth on a Pac-Man. I don't have very good Pac-Man, but Pac-Man would rather eat the big number than the small number. And I have actually heard of teachers that talk about it as the mouth of an alligator. Anyway, I know that is silly, but what it does do is remind you that it always opens toward the big one and closes in tight toward the small one. But you do read it left to right. So these are going to be pretty simple problems. We're just going to talk about which symbol do we use. For the first one, use less than or greater than to write this as a true statement. So just read it left to right. 5 is what compared to 0? Well, it's greater than, it's bigger. So I use the greater than symbol. You should find the symbols on the left side of your My Math Lab activities in what is called the tool palette. There are also less than and greater than symbols on your keyboard as well. All right, next statement, 18 compared to 34. 18 is smaller than 34. On this one, they let me use a multiple choice. So multiple choice, so I get to pick the one that is true. All right, the next one's 2,480 compared to 2,425. Well, they're both 2,400s, but the 80 is greater than the 25. So it is greater than. Remember, it's always opening toward the larger number. 156 compared to 693. 156 is smaller. So when you read it out loud, you always talk about the left compared to the right. And finally, 995 compared to 46. Well, 995 is bigger than 46. It's greater than, opens toward the big number. So, hope you didn't find that to be a challenging lesson. Work hard to make sure that you know that the statement 2 is less than 5, the statement 6 is greater than 4. It always opens toward the larger number, points or closes in toward the smaller number, but when you read it left to right, this is the less than symbol, this is the greater than symbol. Okay, that exercise should go quickly.